Hey guys, this is Nirpam from the Underwater Photography Guide and Blue Water Photo. Now today I'm doing a quick update on the camera that replaces the original Canon EOS R6. This is the Canon EOS R6 Mark II. Now it's a full frame mirrorless camera from Canon. It has a 24.2 megapixel sensor rather than the original 20 megapixel sensor on the original R6. It can do 4K video up to 60 frames a second, this time using the full width of the sensor rather than doing a small crop like the Canon R6. And then there's just a couple bits and pieces that have really been updated. So that's why I want to do a quick review. If you're a Canon R6 shooter, I'm just going to go out and say, you really don't need to upgrade. But if you're thinking about a mid-range prosumer camera, the R6 Mark II is a perfect tool, and it retails for only $24.99 for the body. For everything that it can do, I'd say it's a mini R5. If you don't need the resolution of the R5 and you don't need the 8K video of the R5, this is an awesome option. So if you want to see the super long video, check out the original video I made on the Canon R6. But let's get into some of these changes that have been made in the R6 Mark II. So let me preface this by saying, because this is a shorter review, I only took this camera diving for one day. I'm actually headed out to do my underwater photography workshop in Raja Ampat, which I'm super excited about, but I thought I would do 4 dives back to back in the Pacific Northwest in 46-degree water. I ended the day pretty cold, but I was pretty happy with the results that I was able to get in just one day. Now you guys probably saw I had a crazy encounter with an octopus. I almost lost the housing, but I'm happy to say it's right here with me. It was actually really strong, and the octopus almost grabbed it and brought it into its den. So with that, after 4 dives, this camera has 67% of the battery left. So the battery life has been improved. It's, I believe, 760 shots. That's more than enough for a day of diving. I would say 2 days of diving. So you could probably do 8 dives with this camera and still have a little bit of battery left over, which is awesome. I was shooting both photo and video. If you're shooting video, obviously it's gonna go down a little bit quicker. The camera does overheat after about 45 minutes of shooting 4K 60, so that's one thing to note. But overall, I'm really happy with the battery life update that they made. So we talked about resolution. The Canon R6 was a little bit limited in its resolution. It only had a 20 megapixel sensor, and I feel like a lot of people thought, well, this isn't quite enough for me. And I feel like it had less people buying that camera because of that. Well, now for the same price, you have a 24 megapixel sensor. While it's not quite 30 megapixel like the Canon EOS R, it's a really good point to be at when it comes to a full frame sensor, and I think that's really the sweet spot on a full frame sensor. A lot of mid-range cameras these days are really about 24 megapixels. The update is nice. I didn't notice anything in my images. When I was editing my images, there wasn't a moment where I thought, oh, I can really crop here a lot more than I could with the original EOS R6. So is it worth upgrading to for that spec? No. But it is nice. The sensor's nice. The image quality is awesome, as you can see in the images. So I'm pretty happy with the camera in that respect. Now the biggest update with the R6 Mark II is really the video features, and that is to say you can now shoot 4K 60 frames per second with the full width of the sensor. There's no crop like there was in the R6, and it's downsampled from 6K, which means that there is more detail and more resolution than you would have with just 1:1 4K. So it's really nice. The crop was so small in the original R6 that I didn't notice a huge difference, but it has all the same great features that the R6 does, including 8 stops of in-body image stabilization, which provides 8 stops of correction, which basically means it feels like you're shooting with a gimbal. And I was shooting with this Canon RF 100mm macro handheld, and it did an amazing job, and the video was pretty stable, as you saw. So I'm really happy with it as a video camera. Again, if you're a video shooter, it's still probably not worth the upgrade if you already have the R6, but if you don't, it's pretty compelling now. One cool little feature that's also been added from Atomos, if you do have an Atomos Ninja 5, you can actually record in ProRes RAW. So that's kind of a neat little thing that you can do, and I think a lot of video shooters will be happy. That for some might actually be a worthy reason to upgrade to the R6 Mark II. Finally, there has been an update to the autofocus system. Overall, I think this is one of the best autofocus systems on the market, hands down. The autofocus tracking works amazing. They did kind of build it in automatically into the servo mode now, so when you're in autofocus servo and you select an area, it will track that area when you hit the AF on button, so that's pretty awesome. it does track animals better than the original R6. So is that reason enough to upgrade? Not really. I did find it worked better on fish. I was able to take some wide angle photos and it was able to track the fish eyes, so that's a bit of an upgrade, because it used to be that really it only worked well with macro photography. But I don't think that's reason to upgrade. I think the original R6 also had amazing autofocus. Now, if you're looking for that prosumer camera, this could be it, because this really does have the best autofocus system of any prosumer camera on the market. Finally, let's talk underwater housings. So the R6 II is actually a lighter camera than the original. It also has some updated ergonomics as well. You can see that it actually has a nice video and photo switch, which I really like. But because of that, you do need a new housing for the R6 Mark II. Now, Ikelite has updated the original R6 housing so that the new housing fits with both the R6 II and the original R6. But if you have an original R6 housing, you can't use the R6 II in it. Now, there are also aluminum housing options from Miralux and Nauticam. Now, one cool thing I noticed in our demo housing that Ikelite has done is they've actually redesigned their back plate a little bit more, and they've kind of leveled out some of the corners that they had, and it has like a nice round soft back plate, so that's pretty cool. The housing still has my favorite feature, which is a nice lever for the back button and shutter release, so that you kind of just have to pinch. All three housings that are on the market will allow you to do that. And I did take my photos with Ikelite's Canon TTL converter. I think it's one of the best TTL converters on the market, and that can actually be used with Nauticam and Miralux housings too. Just contact us to find out more on how to do that. So when it comes to underwater lenses, I use the Canon RF 100mm macro for my photos. It's the fastest focusing macro lens on the market. It was awesome to use. I used the Canon 8 to 15mm fisheye for my wide angle. That was on a Canon EF to EOS R adapter, and it works seamlessly with the camera. And there are other wide angle options out there that I really like for the Canon R6, like the Canon RF 14 to 35mm wide angle lens. That's a rectilinear lens, and it's very, very cool lens. And the Canon 15 to 35mm, that's an f2.8 version of that lens. I have reviews on all of these lenses, so make sure you check it out in our YouTube page. With that, guys, I'm gonna end the video right here. So if you have any questions at all, make sure you drop them in the comments below. Reach out to us at sales@bluewaterphotostore.com if you wanna get set up with this housing or any of the other two housings, or anything that you need for the R6 Mark II. And with that, I think it's gonna be an awesome camera for the prosumer market. So I'll see you guys out there.